You know, it's funny. Sometimes the things we buy to feel warm end up freezing the things that matter. Most my son thought a 25000 fridge would make his wife love him more, make his house look richer, and make him feel like he had finally made it. But that same fridge became the symbol of everything he lost: his money, his marriage, and his peace. Before I tell you how it happened, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because this is not just a story, it's a lesson about pride, greed, and how karma has the coldest sense of humor. It started when my son bought his first house, a big white house with pillars and perfect lawns. He called me proudly, saying, "Mom, this place screams success." When I walked in, everything sparkled designer. Furniture, marble floors, shining lights, but something was missing: the warmth that used to live in his eyes. Then my daughter-in-law called me to the kitchen like it was a grand reveal, and there it stood, the 25,000 smart fridge, taller than me, silver shining, humming softly like it was alive. She said, "Mom, talks place, music, tracks, groceries, and even orders food." I smiled, but inside my heart was heavy, because once upon a time, wouldn't even have a fridge. I used to wrap milk in wet cloths to keep it coolly. Softly said Beta, "It's beautiful, but maybe save some money for the future." He looked at me and said, "Mom, please don't embarrass me in front of her. This is how we live now." That moment broke something inside me. The boy who once shared dry bread with me now saw me as an embarrassment. For a while, everything looked perfect. Their photos on social media, dinner parties, wine glasses, brunch captions saying "living the dream," but dreams built on debt always have nightmares waiting. He stopped calling, she stopped visiting, and when I called, he said, "Mom, we are busy, don't worry." Then one day my neighbor, who worked at his bank, came to me quietly. She said, "Your son is in trouble. His cards are maxed out and his mortgage is behind." I sat there, speechless. I wanted to help, but something inside me said, "Stay silent," because sometimes pride only learns through pain. Weeks passed, their perfect life started to fade. No more posts, no more parties, and the smart fridge that once played music now just stood there quietly like a ghost. Then one night my phone rang. It was him. "Mom, can I come over?" he said, his voice breaking. When he walked in, I barely recognized him. His eyes tired, his shoulders heavy. He sat on my old couch and said, "Mom, I need money. The business is down. The bills are piling up." Every part of me wanted to help, but I remembered his words, "Don't embarrass me, Mom." So I said, "Son, do you remember when we couldn't afford milk and you promised you'd never forget those days?" He looked down silently. I continued, "You forgot, Beta. You forgot what built you." He nodded, stood up, and left, and I knew life was about to teach him the lesson I couldn't. It started slowly. The car gone, the house foreclosed, and finally that fridge listed online for $1,200. The same fridge that made him feel like a king was now being sold for scraps. His wife left soon after, took her things and her pride, but left the debt behind. And my son, the man who once said I embarrassed him, returned to the home that raised him. When I opened the door, he stood there quietly. No ego, no attitude, just pain. He said, "Mom, I lost everything." I looked at him and saw not a failure, but the boy I once carried on my back. I hugged him and said, "You didn't lose everything, son. You just lost the things that never mattered." That night, we ate simple food, rice and lentils on our old table. He looked around and said, "This house smells like peace." I smiled and said, "Peace doesn't come from things, son. It comes from gratitude." People ask me if I wanted revenge. I say no, because life gave me the sweetest one. He now works at a small appliance repair shop, fixing old fridges and washing machines, and every time he touches when I know, he remembers that 25000 mistake. But now he works with purpose. He smiles when he earns, and he thanks me every night before he sleeps. And That, my dear, is a kind of victory you cannot buy. Life doesn't destroy us to punish us, it breaks us to rebuild us. Better, my son lost everything he thought mattered to find everything he had forgotten: love, family, humility. So if you're watching this and someone made you feel small because you have less, don't feel ashamed, because the real wealth isn't in what you own. It's in who you are when everything is gone. Comment. Peace is priceless if you believe that. Like this video if you've ever been underestimated. Subscribe, because next time I'll tell you how I turned pain into power and how silence became my loudest revenge.